Have you ever found yourself in a room surrounded by people engaged in casual conversation, yet feeling utterly drained by the effort of being there? Observers easily pick up on that distance. Society rushes to label this behavior as sheer awkwardness, extreme debilitating shyness, or outright arrogance. Modern psychology points to a different cause. The friction you experience in these social settings does not stem from a bloated ego or a lack of interpersonal skills. These behaviors are documented markers of a brain that maintains an unusually high baseline of data linking and pattern recognition. When your mind is wired to parse every subtle cue and subtext, a simple conversation becomes a massive computational task. Reframing these social friction points as symptoms of heavy data processing changes the narrative. Isolation stops being a failure of character and becomes a byproduct of a mind that requires more depth than the average social interaction provides. Inside your head, the gears rarely stop turning. You analyze everything, a habit that people looking from the outside frequently misinterpret as clinical anxiety or neuroticism. Psychologists use a specific clinical term to describe this processing style: hyperconnectivity. Your brain automatically and compulsively works to link disparate data points to form a complete picture. Because your mind is constantly building these intricate webs of information, you cannot accept simple surface-level answers. You require depth to see where the new data fits into the existing structure. Maintaining that constant background data processing requires a massive amount of cognitive energy. This relentless drive to connect the dots creates a natural divide between you and anyone who is satisfied with the easiest, most immediate explanation. This deep processing spills over into your conversations. When you take a heavy pause before answering a question, the room often reads your silence as aloofness or insecurity. What's actually happening is high-speed simulation. In milliseconds, your brain is analyzing the consequences of specific words and mapping out potential outcomes before you speak. Your brain tracks the literal message while simultaneously scanning for behavioral patterns and the underlying motives behind the words. Now drop that analytical engine into a casual discussion about the weather or weekend plans, topics with zero stakes and minimal depth. It is genuinely excruciating. The exhaustion you feel afterward is caused by extreme cognitive understimulation. Your brain is working at full capacity on a task that offers no meaningful data in return. Society places a premium on constant extroversion. If you prefer physical isolation, you are quickly stigmatized as antisocial. The biological reality is that active socializing disrupts the continuous thought flow required for complex problem solving. Solitude is the necessary mechanism you use to recharge in silence. This quiet time allows for metacognition, the ability to step back and critically evaluate your own thinking processes. When you turn that critical lens outward, you spot the flaws in how the world operates. You naturally question authority and locate the glaring inefficiencies in established systems that others accept without thought. Because you prioritize objective truth, you end up valuing raw authenticity over popularity, even when that honesty makes the people around you deeply uncomfortable. Physical isolation, conversational hesitation, and the instinct to defy flawed systems are biological consequences of how your brain functions. These are not personality defects that need to be cured. Operating with this level of cognitive density creates a baseline level of inherent societal isolation. Understanding the psychology behind this framework removes the obligation to apologize for your natural processing methods. If you feel you are too much for the world to handle, it is evidence of a depth of thought that serves a specific purpose. Protect that depth. Don't suppress it just to make everyone else comfortable.